Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be finishing off a colouring page that I started quite a few months ago actually. Being pencil, it's just taken me a long time to do it, but I started to do these purple flowers, and I decided that they needed, the behind them needed to be a little bit darker, so I'm going to play around with that today. So also today I'm going to draw the winner of day 2 for the Jade Summer giveaway that we've been doing. So if you didn't get to enter the first day or the second day, I have put up the third day's post on my Facebook page. I actually forgot to put the link in the description, but I will do that at some stage as well. So yeah, here I am. Hopefully you guys, there's some of us in here to watch today. It's nice to have you guys around and hanging out, and make sure you say hi in the chat too. If you're not sure how to get the chat up, there is a little box somewhere underneath the video that says you can change it from the description to the comments or something like that. So if you don't know how to do that, just pop down the bottom there and have a look. So hi everybody and welcome. We've got Megan. Hi Megan. So this is my image from Hanna Karlzon's Magical Dawn book. I printed it on Strathmore tanned toned paper. So it is quite big, and I'm absolutely loving it at the moment. I guess I keep sort of coming back and doing a little bit, and I don't want to wreck it. So it's just taken me a long time to get it done. Oh, I've got a couple of new guys. Hi guys, thanks for dropping in. So this is Strathmore tan tone paper here. Camera is quite close, so I just so it's mixed media paper. So the paper is actually like hard, so it's really thick and it's quite smooth. But Prismacolor pencils look absolutely amazing on it, especially the white, and the purples are so bright. So really easy to use them. I don't know if you can see how smooth and creamy it is, but it's absolutely beautiful. So, but as I said a little bit earlier, this here in the hair area, I think there needs to be a lot more deeper brown in there. So I'm going to come back in today and do that while we're chatting. Hi Amanda, how are you? And I'm not sure how to pronounce, I don't know the names of the other two. I've got a Lou and Kira there, and Megan, thank you. And I am in Australia, so hello from Australia. It's beautiful weather today. It's going to be quite warm. We're still having hot weather here in Australia, so it's still summer. It's already starting to warm up actually in here, so hopefully it doesn't get too hot. So I'm going to start with, where are we? So I used some sienna brown, yellowed, orange, and pale vermilion in the hair. So I think I might come back in with the sienna brown and darken up around the flowers. This is another one that's actually running out. It's tiny. Okay, so we had Alex from Canada. Hi. Let's have a look. So I have you guys all entered the numerous giveaways that are going on at the moment. If you have, good luck. If not, check out the video on my channel. I will post them in the description after the video's gone live as well. So okay, so I'm just having a play with it here, and the sienna brown might not be dark enough for what I'm looking for. Because the middle of the flowers are very similar to the color of her hair, I felt like they were kind of blending in a little bit too much. So that's why I'm looking at doing the color. But I think I might bring in, let's have a look what I've got here. Perhaps some dark umber. I've got Katrina. Hi, guys. Got a few more watching today. If you guys were around or watched the video yesterday, I did 2 yesterday, one for the giveaway, and I did another one later on in the day because I got some new pencils, which were the Scorpion, the Black Widow pencils with the red back on the front of them. I did hear back from, I think that's going to be a little bit better now, from Albert from Black Widow. He watched the video and he said it was great. He also mentioned, because we were having a little bit of a giggle at the names of the pencils. Thank you. I was told that apparently the pencil names, they wanted something different and they did a competition and people could name them. So the names of the pencils are from winners of that competition. So that's why they're a little bit different, and I quite liked them. They were a little bit crazy. Some of them were strange. But I'm looking into getting purchasing the other 2 sets. So apparently the 3 sets together, 72 pencils, are all completely different. So I want to get the other set so I can see if there's a lot more blends in there as well. So I just mentioned that I've already burnished the paper, but with Prismacolors, they're really good. You're able to sort of go over the top of color you've already done because they are so soft. So I'm just going around the shadow areas and I'm just sort of flicking some little lines out so that they blend in with the rest of the hair as well. The only thing with Prismacolors is the point. It's already lost its point. All right. So I thought I'd just color for a little while. I did the random draw for the Jade Summer video yesterday in a random number generator. This time I've actually put it into random.org and I've actually put names. So I'm not going to actually physically show it because obviously of privacy laws and things like that. But I will draw it in a little bit after I do a little bit of this. So if anyone's got any questions, just shout out and see if I can answer them. Katarina just said that she's spoken to Nicholas Filbert. He's a lovely guy. I've done a couple out of Serenity now and Fantasia. Serene, I should say. So you can see as I'm coming around now, there's a little bit more of a shadow between the flowers and the hair, which I kind of wanted to do to make them pop off the page a little bit more. And a couple of pictures on tan-toned. I did my golden egg on tan-toned paper. It came out awesome. I started to enter a competition by an Australian YouTuber named Draw with Jazza. Funniest guy. If I remember, I'll pop a card up so you can have a look at his channel. But he had a competition going on to colour one of his colouring pages. And I just haven't finished it, but the competition actually ended. I'll just see if I can get it out to show you what I did do of it. You see there. I managed to get him done. And I started on the background, but I didn't actually complete the whole image. I just did not have time with videoing, getting giveaways organized and things like that. So, but it's looking really good, and I can't wait to finish this one either. So I've just been asked, hi, Jackie. And I've got Kitty there as well. Oh, Cheryl. Hi, Cheryl. So someone just asked if I was going to be doing more backgrounds in Serene. My aim is to do all of the pictures in Serene at some stage. I am doing a pencil version at the moment. Once this giveaway finishes in a couple of weeks, I'll go back to doing that one. I may even be able to do it in a live video soon. But yeah, I plan on doing all of the images in Serene. So obviously when I'm actually doing tutorials, I can fast forward the video so that, or put it in high speed so you guys don't have to sit and watch the same thing over and over again. But usually pencils is a slow going process. I'm not sure how do you think that color's going there to bring that up off her head a little bit further? I actually didn't, Cheryl, I didn't actually do the eyes on camera. I have videoed it to do as a tutorial, but it's really hard with pencils to show what pencil I'm using because they're kind of shiny, and sometimes I forget when I'm swapping backwards and forwards to show what color I'm using. So the video will take me a little while to edit so that I can get the right colors and things like that in. But if you can see the eyes close up there. I've used similar colors as in the hair, and I've used white gel pen to put in the highlights. So you will eventually see a video up with this one in it. It's just when I don't know. So as I was saying with the tan-toned paper, when you do colors on tan-toned, they look completely different to on white paper. They look a lot brighter, and they really do stand out a lot more. So especially white, for some reason, white is, I don't know, it just really pops out. So this paper is really good to use. The only thing I found with this particular one that I used, I'm not sure what size it is. I don't know where I put it. But anyway, it's a little bit bigger than A4 size, so I had to trim it to put it in my computer. Also, the paper's really, really thick, so I had to actually, my printer does flat printing, so I can put paper in that's quite thick and it doesn't bend because obviously it's not actually rolling the paper around the coils inside the printer. So just be wary of that with this particular brand. But I know that you can get other brands of tan-tone paper that aren't as thick. So for the hair, so far I've used sienna brown, yellowed orange, orange, and pale vermilion. And this is dark umber. So I was just saying earlier that the purple and the yellow parts of the purple flowers seem to really blend back in with the hair. So that's why I've decided to try the dark umber to bring it sort of forward a bit more. And for the flowers, if you're wondering what I did on the flowers, I used black cherry, dark purple, Delilah purple, and white. And for the inner parts there, I used carmine red, yellowed orange, and lemon yellow. And I may come back in and put a couple of dots of white on each of those as well, so they look a little bit, shiny, I guess, pop out a little bit more. So I had a couple of questions there. Jackie, I like to use different colors in my images because I think that they stand out a little bit more. Uh, I always tend to go for non-traditional colored hair. I love to do purples and pinks and things like that. I think they just make them stand out. And Megan asked, was there a reason I use a Pantone paper? No, there was no reason. I have seen a couple of Hanna Karlzon's pictures done on Pantone paper. There's a couple of my favorites. Maria Payne's one of them, and I can't remember the other lady's name. But they do fantastic drawings, colorings with this paper, so that's why I decided to give it a go. Oh, and also I wanted it to stand out. Just making sure I put a little bit of the dark umber through the hair as well so it doesn't look too strange with that darker color. So I just want to mention the giveaway again. Make sure that you've all joined in on that. There's 9 separate posts through Rafflecopter for that. So you do need to go into each link to enter each prize. So I've done a little bit of a help video because a few got a little bit confused with what they needed to do. So there's 2 videos. One's the main video, which I posted up when it first started, and the other one is a help video. So you can have a look at that to see how to enter. And the Jade Summer giveaway that I'll be announcing the winner for in a moment. The day 3 post is up on my Facebook page. The Facebook page link is actually in the description. It's just down the bottom of the page a little bit. Also, the group link is there as well. So Megan just asked, does the flesh color, is the flesh color easier to do on Pantone? I think it's the same on both. I did have a little trouble. I actually used Caran d'Ache pencils on the face. Don't ask me the what I actually used because I do not remember. But I was testing them out to see how they went. They were actually quite nice. They're very, very similar to Prismacolor. I actually found that they wore down more quickly than Prismacolors did, though. So they're very, very, very soft, but they're really smooth and creamy. And I mean, obviously, look how smooth and creamy that looks now. I've done a couple of skin videos on Patreon for patrons. That's also in the description, the link for Patreon. I've done so far I've done dark skin with Prismacolor and Faber-Castell. I'm still yet to do a fair to medium skin combos yet. And I'm still in the process of doing a Caran d'Ache one because I've got a whole heap of pencils to do that. Okay, I think it's starting to look like it's smooth. So with hair, I just look at the drawn lines, and some artists don't really conform to this though. So some artists will just do lines everywhere and they don't connect, or there's no pieces of hair as such. But you can see each sort of, I guess this little piece here is a section. This little piece here is a section. And I treat each sort of section as a part of hair. If there's something laying on top of it like this, I'll make sure that I put some shadow behind it so that it looks like it's laying on the hair, obviously. And I just use sort of a little lines to create the actual hair. And my pencil's blunt again, to do the hair sort of strikes or strokes, I think, pieces. And usually I'll do them in one way and then I'll come back from the other side so that we've got a bit of a highlight section in the middle there. If you have really long pieces or sections, like this one here is quite long. I actually created a bit of a dip in the hair down here so that I could flick out from there and back that way. And then I can do the same on the opposite side as well. So we've got two sort of highlighted sections there, and it makes it look like the hair's waving in and out. Okay, I'm going to need to go a little bit darker in here because this is where the berries or the middle of the flower or berries is blending in a bit too much. It's so different doing live videos because when I'm recording, I can stop and rewind and go, nope, start again, don't like that. Being live is a little bit harder to do that. So I'm just using a fluffy sort of, it's an art spectrum brush, but just to wipe the dust away, because sometimes when you wipe with your hand across it, you can smudge the dust color particles in onto other parts of the page. So I like to make sure I do that. So let's see if this area here makes those berries stand out a little bit more. Yeah, I think that's much better. Sometimes when I've finished a piece, I'll take a photo of it and I'll notice more imperfections with the camera. So if I notice that something seems to blend in further than I wanted it to, if I wanted it to pop out, I'll go back in and readjust that so that it looks like it's popping out more. I did a dragon a couple of weeks ago, and the dragon's head seemed to really sort of blend in when I took the picture of it or scanned it in to post it. So I had to sort of go back in with that picture and then redo more shadow areas behind the head so that the head would look like it was coming forward more. So it's a good idea to just take a photo just to see where you think that places need a little bit more work. I did the same thing with a flower one I finished yesterday. After having a look at it further away, I could see that the hair on it was blending back too much, so I had to sort of fix that up a bit and make it a little bit darker in some areas. Okay. So just darkening it up, I think it does help to sort of bring them forward, and it makes the middle of the here a little bit brighter. It's just kind of like butter, just so smooth. All right. Okay, I think that makes it look much better. Just trying to get it on camera there for you. I'm just sort of outlining where the flower's laying on and then just flicking out from that area. Good practice for flicking hair with markers. It's the same concept, it's just a flick. I think the eyes make them look real. Of course, the artist who draws the image to start with makes it look awesome to start with. Just going to darken up that top piece a little bit there. It's not quite dark enough on that side. I'm going to do the jewelry, I think some sort of gold. Try to put a bit of dark umber in there as well, because it'll be reflecting from her hair. trying to keep an eye on the time for you guys so I'm not too long. Here. So the camera is actually a little bit lighter. It's actually a little bit darker in real life. So you'll notice that sometimes when I do a tutorial and I'm coloring it, the videos seems quite dull and you can't see a lot of the color. But when you see the actual finished image, you can see more of the true colors that are in it. Yeah, it's better. It's starting to come along nice now. I'm going to do in between these flowers down here. Pencil's getting blunt again. I do try to flick the pencil. That's why I roll it in my fingers to try and get a sharper edge. So Megan just asked if I've got hair and eyes. In Patreon, I have some specific videos just for hair and eyes. But most of my tutorials have fairly good detail on those types of things. But generally, by rule, with eyes, the eyeball, the whites of the eyeball actually isn't white. So I will always put grey in there. And I'll also make sure that there's a shadow line on the top underneath the lid there because the lid's covering over the eye as well, and underneath here too. And make sure you keep your pencil sharp if you're using pencils because you want to try and get nice, smooth, thin lines in there as well. My phone's just going off there in the background. So what I might do is I might draw the Jade Summer name now. I've got all of the names put into a random generator. I'm not going to show that on camera because I've got everybody's names and privacy laws and things like that. So I'll just draw it. We had approximately 27 this time. So if you didn't get in to the last two we've had, make sure you pop over to my Facebook page and it's the pinned post at the top. Today's day 3. So we've got, after today, we've got 2 more because they're giving away 5 books and they're all digital books and you get to choose which one from their Etsy store. Sorry, I just realized I was off camera there. Grace has just arrived. This picture was actually already halfway done, Grace, so you didn't miss too much. I was just filling out the hair a little bit darker around the flowers so that they would pop off the hair a little bit more. So that's what I'm doing now. So I'm just going to draw the winner for the Jade Summer Comp or giveaway. So has anyone found the video where I actually introduced myself in front of the camera yet? Yes, this is Hanna Karlzon, Magical Dawn. I'm just going to pop away from the picture for a sec to draw the winner of the prize. Just randomly select. Okay, so there were 28 entries. I'm just going to randomize them. Okay, so the first name that came up was Trisha Mason. So well done, Trisha. I'll post it all up on Facebook as well, and you won a free digital copy of one of Jade Summers' books from Etsy. Yay! I actually won a prize digital book last night as well. It's exciting to win new pictures to do. So make sure you go over to Jade, to my Facebook page, and enter the other Jade Summer giveaways. Also, don't forget to enter all of the other giveaways that are going on at the moment. They are for everyone, so I want you all to sort of get in there and hopefully win some prizes. Going back down the bottom now. That might be easier, turning it upside down. So guys, if you've got any questions, thank you. Yes, just 1,000 subscribers is awesome. When I started this, I think the first video I posted was August the 14th last year, so it's only been about 6 months. And time's flown, and I've done over 170 videos, I think, now. Not all of them are public. Some of them are exclusive for Patreon. But yeah, it's been so much fun. I've met so many different people, artists, colorists. It's been really good. I'm really enjoying it. So Grace just asked where you enter for the other giveaways. So there's the first post I posted up about the giveaways. In the description, there's 9 Rafflecopter links. If you don't know how to enter through Rafflecopter, there's another video which I posted yesterday of how to do that as well. If you guys like this video today, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, if you do, you can pop on the notifications, and when I do upload videos, you'll get notified. I'll be voice recording all weekend this weekend because I've got a couple of videos sitting there ready to go. Got one from the new book from Vivid Publishing, August Reverie, I think it's called. I've done a picture out of there, so I showed a little bit of it yesterday, but I actually finished it last night, so that one will be coming out next week. And I've got a couple of new books to do, actually. Sorry, I have to turn it back upside down again. So you can see now that by adding in the darker shade behind the flowers has really made them sort of pop off the page a bit more, especially with the coloured ones. Because, yeah, I was worried about these, the middle parts here being too sort of blended in with the hair, but having the darker colour in there really makes them pop off the page, and it stops them from sort of sinking back in and disappearing into the hair. So I'll just finish this off, and then I'll let you guys go off and finish your days or nights or whatever it is, wherever you are. I will too eventually try to do a couple later on in the evening, which would be earlier on for you guys on the other side of the world, because I know that it's extremely late there. I've had a few people, Grace, that have said that to me, but just take your time. Don't rush them. I mean, look, at this one's taken me months to do. I can't remember when I started it. It's been months, but when I get to a point where I'm not sure where to go next, I'll just have a break from it and go to something a little bit quicker and then come back. Pencil's blunt again. I haven't actually coloured any from Urine. There's only a few in there that I think I might attempt, but I'd attempt them with markers anyway, so I would print them onto marker paper like I have with this one. Otherwise, it's too much hassle trying to colour in the book. Also, I don't know if all of Urine is actually single-sided, so it's like that with Jasmine Beckett's books. I've got another one by Josephine Wall by the same publishers. The paper, I mean, a lot of people don't have trouble with it, but I can't handle the paper even with any pencils either, so I'd prefer to print them out. All right, so what question did I forget? Somebody asked a question and I forgot to answer, or was there a question? Almost done here now. Must be kind of strange watching this video after and wondering what people have actually said. I didn't realize that the live chat actually doesn't save, so you can't actually see that when you're watching the video at a later time. So hopefully I'm relaying what people are saying well enough for later. So if you, Megan was just asking about if you're nervous and it's got a lot of detail and things like that. I'm not sure exactly what you mean, but if you're meaning, I just do it. And I take my time. I don't rush. I try to enjoy the process rather than stressing about the process. I mean, the reason that I color is because I really enjoy having a finished product, but at the same time, I enjoy the process of it as well. I take my time. I'll try different things first before I go onto the main page. So I might have a practice with some blends, especially when it comes to things like different colored skin and, um, you know, having, purple leaves and things like that. You could sort of play around first with a blend before you go and put it onto your page. But my biggest thing is that if you don't give it a go and try, you won't learn either. So the more that you practice, the more that you give it a go, the more that you'll retain as well. There's plenty of tutorials out there that help too with color combos and things like that. But yeah, just don't worry. I've seen it's kind of sad. Sometimes I see people will go, oh, mine's not good enough because look at yours. But I try to use, like, when I see something amazing and beautiful, I try to use that to, I guess, inspire me to learn more and to do better. Um, but everybody who has a go is already, in my mind, produced a beautiful picture. Like, it doesn't matter what level you're at, as long as you've enjoyed the process and you're happy with what you've done. Doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. And it shouldn't matter what anyone else's images are like either. Like, if you're looking at somebody doing something and you think, I could never do that, don't do that to yourself. It's not worth it. Maybe you won't be able to do exactly what that other person has done, but at least you can say you've given it a go if you give it a go. But definitely don't be nervous. Just do it. And you know what? If you're not happy with it, don't show anyone. I mean, my tutorials and things like that, all of them I've been happy with, but there are plenty of pictures that I've started and just gone, nah, don't like it, and not shown at all. So don't think that every time I do a coloring, it comes out perfect, because it definitely doesn't. Sometimes, far from it, I look at it and think, oh, what have I done? But yeah, I'm not posting them. You're only seeing the best of what I've done. So I have done plenty of not so great images. But in the process of doing that, I've learned heaps too. I feel like I'm prattling on now. Time to stop. Almost finished around the flowers here, but I definitely feel from when we first started, I'm still thinking there might need to be a bit darker, but when we first started, I think that the flowers were really sort of blending in with the hair. Now they're sort of really popping out off the hair, which is what I wanted. Some of these areas here, I'm going to bring back in my burnt sienna in a minute and just make these areas not quite so, like, they're all the flick marks are sort of ending at the same spot, but I want to make sure that I go through and make them a little bit uneven so it doesn't look too, I guess, uniformed, because it is hair. We want it to sort of flow and look like it's a bit of all different lengths. Grace just asked if I had girls with a poem, and no, I don't. But markers, I've got plenty of videos on markers, so check them out as well. They are, look, I was really intimidated by markers to start with, and now I would prefer to use them. So keep practicing and you'll start to surprise yourself. They're really quite easy to use. And the colors are really vibrant. Plenty of different mixes that you can do with them. There's loads of different techniques that you can use with them as well. Just this little bit over here now, I think. So I hope that just showing you the hair and how I'm increasing the shadows and creating a bit of depth helps you with normal everyday coloring as well. So if you put something that's darker behind something that you want to bring forward, it will bring it forward more. Also too, I find that doing a black background really makes everything else look really bright as well. So if you're looking to brighten it up, sometimes a dark background helps. But I'm really, really happy with how that's popped off the page now. So I've just got the burnt sienna again. Yep, just down the bottom here. Yeah, I did do that earlier. Okay. Just make sure that I've pushed down all the tooth again there. So I'm just using the burnt sienna to go over that just to create a little bit more of a blend. As I said, that some of the areas look like there's lots of lines there, but I want them to look a little bit more jagged and free. I was having a little bit of a conversation with Dia Lenahan. She's giving away the main prize for the giveaway, but we were discussing maybe doing a bit of a color off using the same brand of pencils and the same image, and the challenge being that we had to use every single color in the set. So we're going to look into doing that. It sounds like a bit of fun, a little bit of a challenge. It's great to see what people come up with too. Like, we're going to be using exactly the same colors and the same image. So what differences there'll be between the two will be good too. So I've softened off the hair area on the top there. And those flowers really do stand off now. So someone just asked what my favorite coloring book is. I'm sorry, but I'm a little bit biased. Jasmine Beckett is my absolute favorite. And there'll always be more of those than anything else. And also that's where I started too. Like that's where I started to find my own coloring flair. And yeah, I love, 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 love. I do absolutely love doing these real looking faces as well. Um, but I do believe that they are better with pencil. So those things take a lot more time. I think it's because pencils, you have more precision. Um, if I'm doing a larger picture with markers, I can get a little bit more detail. But I've always liked grayscale pictures. I've loved doing those. I got a couple of Tim Jeff's books in the last 2 weeks, so I've started on an owl, which I can show you quickly now if you'd like. I've done a couple of, I think it's pronounced Leagra Ortega. She's got some pretty books of Arthur Rockman's paintings. She's made them into grayscales. They're pretty. Just did a couple of Kelly Horton images. That's the one I won for the competition that she just had. Okay, so I've just smoothed off most of the hair on that side, and it's looking a little bit more, I guess, less like there's a great big line through it. I'm just being quite rough and just flicking and softening that off. My pencil's not that sharp either now. And what have we got? I need a little bit more yellow. Yellowed orange. I just ordered Linda Ravencroft's one of her books. I think it's the latest, might be the first one actually. So I'm hoping, it's been a couple of weeks now already, so I'm hoping to get that soon too. Being in Australia, we seem to get things last. And we have to pay a fortune to get them shipped out. It's great when you come across Australian artists like Jade Elizabeth and Selena Fenix, Australian. Grace just said a lot of people don't like Prismacolor pencils. I didn't like them to start with either. I'm quite heavy-handed, and I think it's a little bit due to having arthritis. I just don't have a lot of control when I try to sort of use a pencil lightly. I seem to shake and things like that. So I tend to sort of be a little bit overly heavy-handed. But once I started to sort of play with them a little bit more, I've started to sort of realize that, if you hold your pencil on a different angle, you can't push heavy. And yeah, the more that you play with them, the better. But look, I like prisms because of the colors. They're really bright and vibrant. I love my polychromos pencils. Faber-Castell would probably be one of my favorites as well. because I can be a little bit more heavy-handed, and it doesn't matter too much, and they don't run out as much. However, I don't believe the colours are as bright as some of the Prismacolor pencils, and there's not as much variety because there's less pencils. I also feel like they're overdone green in the Polychromo set. There's a lot of green. Okay, I think I'm really happy with that. I'm glad you guys hung around for the hair. I'll move on to the flowers probably next. I think I've actually missed a bit of hair in the background here. Oh no, that could be a flower. That could be a leaf. That's all right. I'll figure it out as I start going through. But look, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and check out that post with the giveaway, because I have got 9 different prizes, and obviously the 10th being the Jade Summer giveaway every day for 5 days. So we're up to day 3, so make sure you go and pop something on there. And yeah, it's looking really good. I'm really happy with that. So any questions before I want to run away? My sharpener that I was using too is the To-Go one. It's got you can do different lengths. I use one for my Prismas, so it keeps them shorter leads, but it means that I'm not wasting as much of the pencil. I can sort of use the sharper bit, and then I just sort of need to sharpen it a little bit, whereas with the longer length lead, I definitely break them, so this helps me not to break them as often as well. And I use number 3 for my Polychromos pencils. But I found an electric sharpener that I use for my Polychromos now, because they're not as soft, don't need to be as gentle with them, so I use my electric one for that. Any other questions? I feel like I'm prattling on, so I probably should just run away now. If you have anything that you want to ask, or any sort of requests, I can certainly look at doing them. The Glinda, or Wicked Witch and Glinda, that I just did with Jasmine Beckett's was actually a request. Someone asked for Prismacolor, and someone asked for that particular image, so I just put them together. If you come across a speed coloring and you're wanting a more in-depth video of what I've actually done, you can always come along and join Patreon. The videos are anything that I've done in extended videos are on there, so you can have a look at those. And also the color lists, conversion charts from marker to pencil are on there as well. So that is everything. No worries, guys. I thank you guys for watching. I love doing these for you, and I really hope that they do help. I don't want to just sort of, I want you guys to learn something and come away feeling like it gives you more confidence to start something of your own. But yeah, look, my advice is, if you haven't started, start it. And if you're worried that it's not going to look good, keep practicing, because it will get better. So I'm glad you all like the sharpener. Thanks again, guys, and have a great evening or afternoon, or wherever you are. Enjoy. Thanks, guys.